My name's Andrew Ogura. I'm here in Tokyo, Japan. I've got 4 jobs at the moment, so the board is coming in great for that. I work for an insurance company in technology strategy. I'm running a startup company, and I went back to university at the moment. And of course, I'm doing family planning on the board. So 4 things going on, and it's really great to help you out here with this reflective video.
Describe to me the challenge or pain point to which led you to the Lightboard.
Yeah, the pain that led me to the whiteboard was obviously Corona drove us all to be online. We're all collaborating online, and I had no way of really creating together with my customers. How do we draft a business process together? How do we look at that in its entirety and, come together to do that creation process? So the board really helped out with that. It's also helped out with really just generating ideas on the fly with people, even just via Zoom now, because we're all hybrid working. It's just helped out with creating on the fly, basically.
Describe why you chose a Lightboard at the end of the day.
So there was a few different options. One of them was to buy a tablet and draw on the Zoom whiteboard. It was too small, too finicky. The technology, I wasn't quite sure that it was responsive enough. So I just wanted to do what I was doing in the office on a whiteboard, but I wanted to do that in a bigger space and just have that sort of freedom to walk around and think and not be stuck in the technology all the time. So holding a pen, talking to somebody who's either in the room with me or on the Zoom, that was just, the freedom was really good.
There's a few companies that produce Lightboards, and you always have the option to build one yourself. Ultimately, can you tell us why you chose Revolution?
I was actually glad I chose Revolution for a different reason after I bought the Lightboard. It sort of was a realization. So when I first chose the Lightboard, I went online, did a lot of research. There was a few different options out there. The most comprehensive solution, and I looked at a lot of customer videos, I guess like the one we're making here, where people just were really happy to use it. They had such a buzz in their voice when they're talking about it. And I'm happy to say that I've got the same thing now. When this big thing came off the pallet that arrived at my place, we were carrying it into the room, and I looked underneath, and the amount of thought and planning that's gone into the technology that drives the solution, it was just mind blowing. I was really impressed. So I guess up front, I was impressed by the customers' energy, but I was really impressed by the backup service and technology at a later date once I actually got it and started.
You've already kind of alluded to it, but one of the questions we love to know is just describe the impact of the studio, the Lightboard, let's call it the technology, the solution to what you do. And let's say the first 3 of the 4 reasons that you use the Lightboard, just describe the impact of it.
My basic work process, I've had a lot of customers sort of step back and say, Andrew, you're really well prepared for this call. You're able to help us through it. We got done what we had to get done in the time available. So I think efficiency in my daily insurance job would be number 1. In my sort of startup company, we're sort of agile. We're designing on the flow. A bunch of us are sort of getting around, and we don't know what the answer is. We're not heading towards a concrete solution. So that discovery process is number 2. And I think being back at university, having the freedom to explore with my university colleagues, all of the different concepts that we're learning, and we're just throwing ideas up there and drafting up research papers. It's just this creative process. So those 3 things are really important.
Any other last piece or last sentence or 2 that you'd love to share with someone that was in your shoes at one time, or that they are now, in considering just doing more with video and even considering a Lightboard? Do you have a sentence or 2 for them?
Yeah, when you're choosing a Lightboard, make sure it has multiple purposes. If you just choose it for one purpose, you'll put it in the corner and you won't use it. I think that having multiple purposes for my daily routine, it's actually part of my daily routine. And that's the key for me. I can talk to my colleagues at work. I can talk to my colleagues at the startup. I can plan my day out. I can take notes. When I'm talking to someone on the Zoom call, I can just even turn around and write a note there. So having that multiple purposes for the board and embedding it in your daily process. So when I'm talking to new customers, I will always use the Lightboard for new customers because of that creative process as soon as possible.